Hey, this is Greg Stier, and when you face a pandemic like this, one of the questions can kind of come up in your mind is, could this be the end times? I mean, could this be the time before Jesus himself comes back? It's interesting because we're kind of watching a global economic collapse. I mean, people are losing their jobs. I mean, government is having to kind of come in and infuse cash into the system. And you could really see how a global economic collapse would really prepare the way for the end times. Matter of fact, in Revelation 13, 16 through 18, speaking of the Antichrist, it says he required everyone, small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to be given a mark on their right hand or on their forehead, and no one could buy or sell anything without the mark, which was either the name of the beast or the number representing his name. Wisdom is needed here. Let the one with understanding solve the meaning of the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. His number is 666. Well, I'm not the one with wisdom to solve the meaning of the number of the beast. I don't know exactly what it means, but I know this. Without that number in the end times, you can't buy, you can't sell. And so the idea is that there's been some kind of economic collapse globally that prepares the way for the Antichrist and the beast and the mayhem of the tribulation and all that stuff. Am I saying that to scare you? A little bit. Because maybe it is. Maybe this is the beginning of the end, or for us as believers, the beginning of the beginning, because when Christ comes back, it's going to be great for us, and it's going to be painful for the world that does not yet know Jesus. Either way, one thing I can tell you for sure, we're always living in the end times. Since Jesus died, rose again, ascended into heaven, we've been living in the end times. Somebody once said we have to live like Christ died yesterday, rose again this morning, and is coming back again tonight. So will Jesus come back in the next 24 hours? I have no idea. Maybe it'll be 24 years, maybe it'll be 2,400 years. But I know this, we're to live every moment like every day was our last. So I want to encourage you to share your faith, to live your faith, to engage in those gospel conversations, because Jesus could come back at any time. I remember telling my son and his girlfriend about the end times. She was a pretty new believer at the time. He goes, Dad, tell her about the end times. So I explained it to her, what I think I know about the end times. And she goes, oh crap, I got to reach everyone I know with the gospel of Jesus before it's too late. That right there is the whole purpose of the end times, to motivate us to live for Jesus and to spread the good news of Jesus. So during this pandemic, let's get out there. We're going to be quarantined, but let's do our best to share the good news of Jesus with those who desperately